Our next performer, and if you're watching your program carefully, you know who this is. Let's have a very big hand for Mr. Alan Greene.
Alan Greene is kind of a common name. Actually, there are 3 or 4 in the Boston area, but both names, both Alan and Greene, can be misspelled. And I sort of got used to it. In school, we had they gave one company gave us these notebooks with our names on it. Ara Shepherdigian, they got right. Aristax Cachadorian, they got right. Alan Greene, they screwed up. And I got used to this though, because we had one sales girl, and I said that's Green with 3 E's, and she wrote G-R-E. But in this area, in the Boston area, we're really very lucky. There's a lot of history around, and there's a lot of places we can go for day trips. A number of years ago, I took the kids to, it was on a Thanksgiving, and took them down to Plymouth, and we went to Plymouth Plantation, and we went to the Mayflower, and we went to the Plymouth Rock, and we went to the Pilgrim Museum, and we came out, and there was this Indian on the corner, and I took the kids over to hear what the Indian had to say, and he was talking about the fucking white man. I said, okay, kids, let's go listen to that skinhead down the block. I know there are people out here who have, who are dog lovers. We have a little dog, and it's very important that we train him. We had our dog used to dump on the rug, and we rub his nose in it and throw him out the window. All right, we lived on the first floor, and within 2 weeks we had him trained. He used to dump on the rug, rub his nose in it, and jump out the window. Our town has a pooper scooper wall, which actually is kind of confusing to the dog, because you take the dog out for a long walk, he dumps, and you pick it up with the pooper scooper and bring it home. And the dog thinks, I didn't have to go out for that walk. I could have shit at home. I had 2 friends that were walking their dogs. One had a German Shepherd, one had a Chihuahua, and they're going out for a walk, and the guy with the German Shepherd says, on the way home, let's stop at the bar and have a beer. And the other guy says, look, they'll never let us in the bar with our dogs. He says, well, it's very simple. He says, just put on your sunglasses and tell them it's a seeing eye dog. And they walk back into the bar, and actually the guy with the German Shepherd goes first, and the bartender says, you can't come in here with that dog. And he says, it's a German Shepherd, it's a seeing eye dog. I've got to take it with me wherever I go. And the bartender says, okay, you can come in. The next guy comes in with his Chihuahua, and the bartender says, you can't come in here with that dog. And the guy says, it's a seeing eye dog, I got to take him with me wherever I go. And the bartender says, give me a break. I've never seen a seeing eye Chihuahua. and the guy looks at him and says, they gave me a Chihuahua. There's a whole industry that's been started up with the idea of safe sex, and this is the phone industry and phone sex, and I called one of those 900 numbers, but with my luck, I got an ear infection. Last week I went to a phonics conference, and at the cocktail party afterwards, this guy comes up to me and says, I bet I can make you cry. He says, I won't touch you, I'll bet you $10 I can make you cry. And I said, okay, I'll take that bet. And he says, knock, knock. And I said, who's there? And he said, who? Boo. And I said, boo-hoo. And he said, okay, give me the $10. And I, figured I got to get that $10 back. So I went up to the next guy and I said, look, I bet you $10 if I can make you cry. I won't touch it, but I can make you cry. And the guy says, okay, I'll take the bet. And I said, knock, knock. He says, who's there? And I said, boo. And he said, who be boo? Actually, knock-knock jokes are different in different parts of the country. For example, in New York, they're different. It's knock, knock.
Who's there?
None of you got that. And this Ron walks into a shoe store, and a very, very attractive male salesman walks up to her and says, "Can I interest you in a casual pump?" And Madonna says, "Yes, I'll get the shoes later." And these four grandmothers are sitting around a swimming pool in Miami Beach, and one says, "Oi," and the other one says, "Oi, oi," and the third one says, "Oi, oi, oi," and the fourth one says, "I thought we weren't going to talk about our children." Last summer I was up in Vermont, and I went into a bar, had a drink. This guy next to me had this very gravelly, very funny voice, and I asked him, "Where'd you get that voice?" He said, "Well, last week I was playing golf, and I hit my tee shot, and it really went far, but it went off the fairway into the woods, and I started looking for the ball, and I'm looking all over the place, and I'm next to it. All of a sudden, I realize I'm next to a cow. I'm next to the butt end of the cow." And he says, "I don't know what made me do it, but I picked up the cow's tail, and there, right in the crack, there's a golf ball." But it was a Titleist, and I was playing with a True Flight. It wasn't my golf ball, but I see this woman coming over the hill, and she's carrying a golf glove, and looking for her ball, and I figured that answers all the questions, and she's looking all over the place, and she comes down, and she's standing right next to me, and right next to the cow, and I lift up the cow's tail, and I said, "Hey lady, does this look like yours?" And that's what